Good morning, guys. This morning it's all about my ground covers because they're all in bloom, and you won't notice them as time goes through. Once the blooms are there, they just do their job, which is they prevent soil erosion, they hold the moisture, they give you this gorgeous cover that adds such a texture, particularly like right now, the sweet woodruff. Which is under my lilac tree, which has never bloomed like this because we're now in 6B and we've usually had frost and snow. And I still think I'm jinxing me by saying that out loud. But the sweet woodruff, which has this pretty white bloom.
And what's it called?
Sweet woodruff.
Thank you.
Yes, sweet woodruff. And it stays green through the summer. It dies back in the winter. It likes more shade than sun. Right now, it's we're in the early morning, but it gets this pretty white bloom. And if you get over in that shady spot, isn't that sweet? Ha ha, sweet woodruff. But anyhow, so that is.
Was that a pun?
That's trying to be a pun. I mean, creeping phlox, which I have throughout the garden, is wonderful, cascading over the stone walls, and the blue ajuga, which, oh my gosh, when you look how it has sown itself along this island bed, and it makes such a statement. So easy to maintain. The ajuga, by now I may have had a video up showing you how easy it is to remove. I don't find ajuga to be invasive, but I love the blooms. And then the foliage is lovely too. It turns a little darker coppery color in the fall. I'm not in the fall, but through the summer. I will come in and deadhead the seed heads when it's done. But what a statement right now when there's nothing else happening.
It's all over the place, honey.
It's everywhere, and I love how it just is framing this new bed, and even in the shade of the garden, it's gorgeous. While we're here against this blue ajuga, which I love so much, and it will grow in shade or sun, as you can see. It's soil, it's, all of my ground covers are not fussy about soils. Under the next, I want to talk about under our beautiful Japanese maple, which I need to thin out, is the Pachysandra. Now, Pachysandra definitely can be very invasive, and I have it contained under this tree. We have a stone wall going up the hill around the pond, and it has not tried to go under those stairs into the other
Plus you got ivy under there.
garden. There is ivy under there. But one thing about your Pachysandra, it's evergreen. It doesn't require anything to keep it. None of my ground covers require fertilization. I just let them grow and let them go. And these get a sweet little bloom early in the spring. They were the first things that bloom. But I do nothing to it. I don't come in and do anything. But isn't it gorgeous under this tree? Because before this tree leaves out, it gives me a beautiful green cover. As we go across from the pond, you'll find, of course, I was talking about the phlox, but this too becomes a ground cover. And this is a hardy geranium, and it has a nice little scent to it, but it becomes like a sweet little skirt to this flower bed. Non-invasive, smells nice, gets a beautiful pink bloom about 2 inches above the plant all summer long. It stays evergreen, and I can cut it back and the blooms will rebloom. But of course, who can beat the pink phlox?
This is beautiful.
This is beautiful. I love how it softens our rock edges everywhere. It creates this beautiful rounded cover, and it has a sweet scent too. Once it warms up, it has a nice little scent. Easy to grow. I do nothing to it. I did have a question about, do I cut it back? All I do, once this quits blooming, if it gets down into here, I'll keep this groomed up just in this area. But I don't care if it grows. You can see by the stairs.
This is taking off. I mean, this whole corner here is
I know. And it's so easy to transplant. You dig up a little chunk, stick it anywhere you want, and I can show you some places I've done that early this spring. The other thing that I'm going to tell you is, this is just your hardy thyme, and it too has made a nice little.
What is it?
Thyme.
Oregano?
It's your herb, thyme.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I have, this is Ken's oregano. It too can be a little bit of a ground cover, particularly around my roses. I like the smell, the scent. Very nice little herb garden. I've got some, what do I have? Cilantro planted in there. But let's keep moving forward because right behind you, Reg,
What's behind me?
is lamb's ear.
I don't consider that a ground cover, do you?
It can be. I keep it managed. I like it to edge, but if I let it go, it would probably go all in.
I give you that, but I mean, it just never struck me as
a ground cover.
Yeah.
Well, it is considered a ground cover. The one thing about lamb's ear, it grows sun and shade. It's very tolerant of dry soil. Again, you don't have to do anything to this. I love the blue-green color.
I like the color. It gets a little flower too, doesn't it?
It does, but I cut the flowers off because I like it managed like this. The bees love it. The bees are out on everything. There were a lot of bees up on the sweet Woodruff and the ajuga when we were up there earlier. But last year, I just took a little chunk of my phlox, stuck it in here, and it takes off. It's not aggressive, but oh my gosh, within a year, it will soften every edge. The newest ground cover, what? You were getting ready to show me something, right?
No.
Oh, is my lamian. And I can't
What?
wait. My lamian, dead nettle lamian. I can't wait till it will take in and bring in the colors in here. It too is dry shade. Doesn't require much of anything, but look at that beautiful bloom against my purple heuchera in this area. I didn't notice how much it brought the color out until this morning. I walked down here, I thought, wow, the blooms. They are gonna really pick up that color. You know, so it's little things that make me happy about ground covers as you get a chance to notice them when nothing else is in bloom. Every plant in my garden has their chance to shine. We just had the daffodils, the tulips are coming to an end. You can see I have lamb's ear over on this border too. And so easy to manage. I can't, the only thing I would think that would be tough to manage that I have for a ground cover would be the Pachysandra. I was told that when it was given to me by Bergen years ago. You want to manage that, Teresa. I said, okay. And she's right. You know, if you know where to put that, like Lisa could stand to have the Pachysandra on that slope going to the river. It would keep the erosion down and it could take over and be evergreen too. Then right behind you, Reg, in the shade garden, what I love are these little white violets that come out and it gives this so much texture.
Well, I can't really see them here.
You can come from this edge.
Oh, here we go.
Look at this. The little white violets are gorgeous, and they like a little well-drained soil, a little more moisture, but even through the summer, they stay green. And if we have here in Zone 6B in West Virginia, Weston, moisture through the summer, and we get rain at least once a week, they'll get their blooms, and it keeps this area looking bright. And now you see a few under the willow tree, and I just love their little white texture. In and around here, it gives such a little punch of color, non-invasive. They're, you know, I have dug them up and put them in pots, and they look really sweet in a separate little pot by itself, which I can't show you because I don't have that going on right now, but anyhow.
But you can look at that red bud. I just noticed it.
Finally, yeah, we're finally getting a little bit of, the buds on it. And then the leaves are coming out. So I think this is just it went through its first full winter because we planted it last year with Barb. She gave that to me. And this came through its first full winter. And I bet next year it'll be full of those pretty purple blooms. And the last little ground cover that I consider a ground cover is, I just saw its first bloom. It creates a little carpet in front of your border, little forget-me-nots. Look, the first blooms.
I'll be darned.
It stays low growing, and I keep adding little pieces around this border because it likes the sun, and it gives you this lovely little carpet, and the blooms are really pretty. So those are my ground covers, and I think everyone should look at their phlox and the ajuga. I just love that color, the blues and the pinks. But that is it for today.
Yeah.
I know, I just had to show you. This is the time of year to get out and take a look at these things. So thanks for watching. You know, the show stars today are my ground covers. Gardening on the West Fork. See you the next time, guys. Bye.